Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be a bonus reading. I just felt, I don't know, I'm going with my inspirations lately, Pisces, and I felt the need to do a kind of like a Celtic cross style spread for the rest of the year. So I know I already did a rest of the year spread for everybody, but this one I wanted to focus on whatever your main focus is right now, or whatever is most important for you to hear, and that's what we're going to base the Celtic cross off of for you here, Pisces. So I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm just gonna do a regular Celtic cross is the word is the word that I'm looking for here, Pisces, and that's gonna be that. So let's see what comes up for you. I don't even know why I have these decks out here, but I don't know. They're gonna stay there for now. But let's see here, Pisces. What we have going on for you. So in your current present energies, I feel like you could be a little bit confused, or there. I actually don't feel bad about this, Pisces, just in general, is what I would say to you. I do feel like there's some confusion going on, just in general. I feel like you need to realize that this is almost like a plateau time that you're in your life. And what I mean by that is it's like kind of like, I feel some of you have kind of gone up and you're just kind of cruising along here with this Seven of Cups. It's like things aren't maybe as perfect as you would like them to be in your life. I feel like things maybe aren't as ideal. It's like I think you want more as well. You're hoping to maybe take a little bit more control of your destiny, especially with this Wheel of Fortune here. But at the same time, I do feel like things are kind of moving forward. I feel like there's a lot going on, like a lot of thoughts, a lot of processing information, a lot of I'm getting the words crunching the numbers going on in your life. So I'd say for the rest of the year, I feel like it's more you focused. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. I feel like it's more the rest of the year here. This Celtic cross is kind of like saying that you are more focused on progress, or you're more focused on your own personal progress. But I kind of do get this energy of looking for the right answers with this card. I do feel like some of you kind of are looking for the right answers here. What's crossing you is the Page of Wands. I'm getting a couple things here. Number one, getting started is maybe a little bit of a challenge for you at this time. Picking something to move forward on here could be a little bit of a challenge as well. With the Seven of Cups, it's like all these ideas, again, I get this energy of you kind of crunching the numbers in your life, like trying to figure out, do I do this? Do I do that? Do I go in this direction? Which direction do I move in? Do I start today? Do I start tomorrow? Should I started yesterday? I have all these freaking questions running through my head here, Pisces, and it's like rushing. So it's like knowing what to start, knowing what to get moving on is a challenge. I also feel some of you could be feeling almost a little bit burdened by your desires here, because it's I feel like some of you are am I going to desire to do this in the future? Those are the words that are popping into my head. If this is love for some of you, it's maybe you're am I going to even desire this person, or desire to be with this person in the future? So I feel like you have a lot of questions with this Seven of Cups here. Even in the area of your thoughts with the Seven of Wands here, I feel like for some of you, it's kind of you actually do know exactly what you want in your life. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It's a card of knowing that you know that something is going to be successful. I'm getting the word tightrope here, Pisces, and I feel like for some of you, it's kind of you could feel like you don't want to step out onto a tightrope is what I'm getting here, where again, it's maybe you have reached a certain level of comfort in a certain area of your life, and it's kind of you don't want to lose that comfort, even though there might actually be something that's even more comfortable than where you are right now. So I would just say that, I do feel like this reading is kind of asking you to leave a comfort zone, in the sense that it's saying, for you to grow, for you to experience more, you're just going to have to leave where you are. And that's kind of what I'm getting here with this energy. I feel like some of you know that you have to move forward. Even in the area of your foundation, you have the Six of Swords here, when the Six of Swords is definitely saying, you know that it's time to move forward. You know that maybe it's time to even go through some sort of rite of passage, right? So I do feel for the rest of the year that for the most part, some of you are kind of going through this intense growth, this intense transformation energy is what you will be experiencing here. Not a bad thing at all. Again, I feel like you're being prepared for Jupiter and Pisces next year. This is going to put you in the limelight, the spotlight. It's going to cause you to expand. It's going to cause you to grow in big ways. And it's just going to be amazing for most of you. And what I would say here is I feel like this rite of passage that you're going through is kind of like a good thing. But I do feel that for a lot of you, this is kind of like saying that you're getting ready to take off. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Very exciting. In the area of your near future, which we'll talk about in just a second. In the area of your past, you have the Two of Swords. Afraid to make the wrong decision is what I feel for you, Pisces. And maybe that's kind of kept you stuck. I'm a Pisces. I totally get it. I mean, it's like I feel like us Pisces are warriors, which we should probably stop doing, right? And, I totally understand worrying about certain things or worrying about making the right or the wrong decision. But I feel that could be kind of like, holding you back, obviously, with the Two of Swords. So I wouldn't be too afraid to make the wrong decision. I would, definitely just make a decision. Again, she is sitting where she has always been. She needs to go to these new lands behind her, and there could be a lot of success there. I also feel more your energy, High Priestess. The High Priestess is kind of like about taking the middle ground approach. It's like saying you could be thinking things in your life. You could be thinking in extremes, right? You could be thinking things are going to be really, really good or really, really bad, and maybe it's somewhere in the middle. So I would be careful of like thinking in extremes with this Two of Swords. But I definitely feel in the past, making a decision has been hard. Obviously, a lot of confusing energy right here. Seven of Cups, Two of Swords, Page of Wands. I mean, to me, that's like literally not getting started because of confusion. The good news is in the near future, you have the Ace of Wands here, Pisces. Very exciting, I feel like this bright, vibrant energy here with the Ace of Wands. I feel like this, kind of more, going for it type of energy with the Ace of Wands. And I feel like you're ready for something here as well. Much, much better. I almost feel that there are some answers coming in for you here as well with this card because, kind of the Seven of Cups to me, the best way I could describe this, Pisces, like what I'm feeling, and because I felt it before, is like wanting to be right, and I don't mean, like in an argument or something like that. I mean, like if you're trying to start a business, like wanting to know that you're making the right decision. If you're getting into a relationship, wanting to know that it's the right thing before you get into it. And, I feel like this is kind of like an answer that's coming in for you in the near future that is going to cause you to kind of blast off very good energy. And again, I do feel this is kind of like a spark. So for those of you that are hoping for kind of just like an answer, if you're hoping for clarity on like what to do, I do feel like there is an answer that will be coming in for you here in the very near future. Again, I really do like the fact that you have the Six of Swords here as your foundation because, again, to me, it does say you're moving in the right direction. I feel like you are kind of moving on from this more confusing energy and things are definitely looking like you're getting to this much better place here with that Ace of Wands. Over the next few months, you have the King of Pentacles. Again, like I said at the beginning of the reading, I see this plateau type of energy. So over the next few months, I feel like things are mostly going to be the same. I don't think this is like terrible. I don't think it's necessarily super great either. I think things are just kind of stabilizing, which is a good thing. I think things are going to be maybe a little bit more predictable between now and the end of the year. So less chaos, right? Less fluctuation in all areas of your life. I feel like even you internally feel less chaotic. Like, if you've been experiencing like mentally, if you've been experiencing chaos or anything like that, I just think the King of Pentacles is talking about a little bit more stability. Just as a side note here, I am also getting love here as well. So for those of you who are looking for love, I do see an admirer that could be coming in for you very passionately. This person removes the confusion. So I'd say it's like one of those things where if you've been confused about your love life or, who to choose, I feel like something much more obvious is coming in. And, this could be you're just really attracted to someone that I feel that intuitively, where you could just be really attracted to this person. And that's, that could be obvious, but I also feel like they're just like a good person, so it's like that type of obvious as well. So I really like to see that. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Wheel of Fortune. I do feel like there are clearly changes that are going on for you in your close relationships. I'm getting a couple things here, and I almost see it as a list in my head here, Pisces. So we're just going to cover it one by one. Number one, I would, make decisions for yourself. I feel like there are going to be some situations that come along over the next few months where it's like people could say, do X, Y, and Z. I think because us Pisces are like people pleasers, we just say, okay, we just go along to get along, right? I feel like this is saying, like, be the center of the wheel. The outside is out of control on the Wheel of Fortune. It's kind of like you're just, tossing and tumbling. I always say it's kind of like a washing machine, right? The outside of the wheel, because you don't control yourself on the outside of the wheel. You control yourself on the inside of the wheel. So I feel like in all relationships, making decisions that you want to make and making sure other people aren't controlling your decisions would definitely be a good idea with the Wheel of Fortune. I also feel that, again, the people that you surround yourself with are going to be extremely important with that Wheel of Fortune. I'm getting kind of like the Nine of Pentacles popping into my head here as well, Pisces. The Nine of Pentacles, if you don't know, has a little snail on the bottom left of the card, right? Snails carry their homes on their back, and that's popping into my head. Nine of Pentacles has a lot to do with your environment and kind of like who you surround yourself with as well. So I would be very careful in your close relationships with like the type of people that you're surrounding yourself with. I feel like, they say you are the sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So I would make sure that you're spending time with like quality people or quality relationships and things like that as well, as much as you possibly can, of course, with this energy. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Page of Cups. I feel like you're feeling good, Pisces. I feel like you're dreaming. I feel like you're focused as well. He's very focused on an opportunity. There is a fish in that cup that he is imagining. He needs to grab onto that fish so it doesn't escape. So I feel like you are very focused at this time on one cup, which is amazing. I mean, really, in this reading, couldn't ask for anything better, because I feel like it is saying, like, hey, focus on one thing because you will make it happen. I do feel like there is still a need to take action. And not, here in the area of your outcome, we have the Nine of Wands. And I do feel like the Nine of Wands is kind of, the wounded warrior. But I kind of feel good about this as well, because I feel like it's saying that you are not going to give up. I feel like you are going to continue to push forward with the Nine of Wands. I feel like you are going to continue to make things happen with the Nine of Wands as well. I feel like you're more in this space of being willing to experiment over the next few months here. And I feel like you're not worrying about the outcome so much, which is weird that I'm getting those words for the outcome. I feel like maybe what I would say to you is, in the past, maybe you would try something in work or business and it wouldn't really work out. There would be like a failure, and maybe it would get you down for a few days. Maybe you would go on a date and the person would turn out to be a jerk, and that would probably get you down for a couple of weeks or something like that. I feel this energy of things like being shorter are literally the words that are popping into my head. So I feel over the next few months, between now and the end of the year, your outcome is the fact that, like, I feel like I don't want to say you're getting over things faster. I feel like you're just looking at things. It's like the perspective that you're looking at things is the right way. I feel like you're just saying, it just didn't work out, so I'm just going to move on to the next thing. And I get this like speed here. So I really like to see that for you, Pisces. I wasn't going to clarify this, but I do want to clarify just a couple of things here in your reading for some more details. I do want to clarify your kind of like near future here with and here you go. With the Ace of Wands, you have the 2 and the 3 of Wands here. Crazy. So leaving a comfort zone is clearly your answer. The 2 of Wands is about leaving a comfort zone. He's leaving a village that's over here, and he's got the whole world in his hands. 3 of Wands is waiting for the perfect moment when there never will be a perfect moment. So I do feel like this is kind of asking you to kind of like take that leap of faith. I feel like it is asking you to, kind of jump. I do want to clarify your closest relationships as well. I was getting something about your environment being extremely important over the next few months here, Pisces. Yeah, you have the 3 of Swords. I would remove anybody or anything that makes you feel sad with the 3 of Swords. The Three of Swords also reminds us, like, yeah, there are swords in this heart here, but the heart is still intact on the Three of Swords. It kind of reminds you that, even if you are heartbroken or you do get heartbroken, you will heal. This heart hasn't really been, damaged. Yes, there are swords in it. I get it. But, it truly hasn't been damaged by those swords. So it kind of says, yeah, you're heartbroken or maybe you've experienced heartbreaks in the past, but you'll be happy. And you have the Four Wands. Winners, basically. There are people celebrating on the other side of those Four Wands. I feel like there are people who are asking you to celebrate. What I would say to you as well, that what I'm getting here, Pisces, is if you have a business or a job or a career, I feel maybe some of you are not seeing as like success as much as you would like here with that, with this right here. And I feel like it's saying almost like, let's say you have a business. I feel in a lot of ways, maybe the type of people that you're getting into your business isn't right. Maybe the type of person you're getting, should be, maybe you need to be with more successful people. I'm getting all sorts of things here that include your environment, like especially in work or business. I feel like some of you maybe need to like raise your prices because you'd be surrounding yourself with people who can pay more. And again, I always get someone who's pissed off that I talk about money, whatever, get lost, right? That's what I'm gonna say to that person. But what I would say here is that, yes, the world, it's not all about money. But what I would say here is, again, if you want to be more successful, I feel like that is going to be important there. I want to clarify your outcome here as well. Yeah, Page of Pentacles, positive outcome. Page of Pentacles is a little nitpicky, is what I would say, Pisces. I feel like this is saying, don't be too focused on like the tiny little details. I feel like action is going to be more important for you over the next few months. Really, the best advice I have for you, Pisces, from now until the end of the year, and I feel like what the main focus here for you is the fact that, like, I feel like if you just try things, you're going to make a lot more progress than if you don't try things. Page of Pentacles kind of reminds us, right, that we don't just learn from our successes. We have to learn from our failures as well. And this is truly the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles has oak leaves on the cards. Oak leaves in the tarot represent kind of like knowledge and wisdom, but they kind of remind us that, again, we have to experience failures as well as successes. And I do feel like some of you might be experiencing some, failures, although I do not think they are failures. I feel like you're still making progress. It's just not as much as you would like. It's not this big, huge success. Remember, like I said, I feel like everything between now and the end of the year is just going to be kind of like more middle ground, if that makes sense. I feel like it's going to be more, just like the middle of whatever you're thinking. This is a good thing. This is not a bad thing. And, I feel maybe that this is a good message for you, Pisces, because it's like, I feel like by me telling you that, then you're going to keep moving forward. I feel like if you don't hear that message, then you're probably going to get disappointed and you're going to stop. Definitely going through an intense transformation here. I feel like by next year, early next year, like March, probably around your birthday time, Pisces, it would not surprise me if, just looking at this reading, if a lot of you were doing something different, work or business-wise, like a totally different job or business or something. It also wouldn't surprise me if some of you were getting into new relationships that are just, I wouldn't say perfect. I don't think anything is truly perfect, and there's nothing wrong with that. We should be in relationships that aren't perfect because then we grow, then we learn, right? So there's nothing wrong with that, but I do feel like you're surrounding yourself with the right people by next year, and I also feel like love-wise, you'll be surrounding yourself with the right people as well. Looks really good. So definitely some sort of intense transformation here as well. Sorry, I don't want to drag this out, but I got to figure it out. What is this intense transformation? We're just going to ask for one card here. Boom. Exactly what I was talking about at the beginning of the reading. I don't know what the intense transformation is, if I'm being honest with you here, Pisces, because High Priestess is a mystery. High Priestess says the sky's the limit. There's no roof above her head, and she can accomplish whatever she sets out to accomplish, but she has to take action. So again, I never claim to have all the answers. I don't trust any intuitive that claims they know every single little thing. Sometimes we just have to admit we just don't know, and that's where I'm at right now, Pisces. If I'm being honest with you, I have no clue where this intense transformation is coming. I feel like it's up to you with the High Priestess. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, Pisces, and definitely enjoy the rest of the year.